I remember many years ago in my life when I was stranded. I was looking for a way out because things were not working for me. Things were looking so hopeless and frustrating. I mean, I didn't know where to go to. I prayed every kind of prayer I could pray. I met people to pray for me. And if you have watched my video when I was talking about how God healed me, that was exactly the phase in my life when I was looking for solution here and there. I had a very big one, where there was a lump in my breast, my right breast, and it was looking as if there was no hope. The doctor said they were going to cut off my breast. It looked so funny, it sounded so funny. But at that point, I was sincerely desperate for help. I prayed every kind of prayer I could pray. I, I met people to pray for me, but it was looking as if it wasn't working. But something helped me. Something helped my life. Something made a difference in my life. And that is making a commitment to be responsible for my life. Yes, there are a lot of believers, there are a lot of Christians who have not come to the point in their life where they choose to take responsibility over their life. And they always feel that, oh, I have a pastor to pray for me, which is not bad anyway. I have a prophet to prophesy for me. I have people to look into the future for me. But I want to tell you something that a point will come in your life when your hope or your trust in what people can do for you will fail you. Yes, I got to that point in my life where I used to believe in prayers, like people praying for me, and it has been working. It has been working. People pray for me, it will work. I get sick, people pray for me, I get healed. I get into financial hardship, people pray for me, there is an open door. A lot of times people pray for me and it works. But a time came in my life where it was looking as if every prayer wasn't making sense. It was looking as if every prayer wasn't working. Everything I tried, like literally tried to do, people helping me, people praying for me, it looked as if it was not working. And at that point, I was frustrated because I was faced with death. I was face to face with death. Like, this is a threat to my life, and I needed solution desperately. I didn't have the money to go to the hospital. I didn't have the money for any surgery whatsoever. I didn't have the money for treatment or whatever they were suggesting. I didn't have the money. So at that point, I knew that it was between me and God. In the Bible, when Jacob was left alone with God, I realized that at that point, I was left alone with God. And God says, this is the point I want you. This is the point where I want you to be. This is the place where I have been longing for. This is the place. I could remember then, God said, healing you is not an issue. Healing you is not an issue. But I want you to get to that point, to that place where you are face to face with me. I want your attention. I want you to come up, to come up. I want you to get to that point where Habakkuk said that I will stand upon my watch and I will see what he will say unto me. He was saying that I wanted to get to that point. And I was like, seriously? So even God wants our attention. Like, he wants us to to come to that point where we see him as everything. We see him as the only solution, the only source of our life. God wants us to come to that point where we don't have any other place to lean on but on Him alone. I can remember He said to me, He said, "This is the point where I want you to be. This is the place where I want you to be." And then I realized that day that there are a lot of things that people go through in life. There are a lot of challenges that people go through in life. God allowed it. I use the word God allowed it to be because He wants them to come to that point where He will have fellowship with them, where He will commune with them, where He will spend time with them. People tend to be very busy with God. They tend to be very busy out of God, rather, that they forget that there is a God. They forget that there is a creator of the universe. They forget that there is one who holds our lives. Because everything is working. Everything is working for you. So you just tend to leave God aside and face life. But at times, God allows some certain things to come to us because He wants us to get to that place of relationship, that place of communion, that place of fellowship with Him. He is longing for it. Up until that time, I didn't realize that God was actually longing for my fellowship. He was actually longing for my communion. He was actually longing for my presence. And I realized that I was indeed very special to God. I said healing you is not an issue. Healing you is not a problem. But I want you to come to that point where you will listen to me when I talk to you. You will listen to me when I give a message to you. You will seek me, like you will eagerly seek me. I want to feel so special before you. And I realized that sometimes what people go through in life is not because they are bad people. It's not because they have sinned against God. It's not because of anything in quote negative they have done. But it's because God needs your attention. God needs your attention. He needs to draw you close to Himself. He needs to draw you close to Himself. So I want to tell somebody here today that don't get to that point where you are too far from God. Don't get to that point where you have gone so far and God is seeking your attention. Don't get to that point. Because some persons have died, some persons have been destroyed, some persons don't know how to return back because they have gone too far from God. They have been so busy with life. They have been so busy with the things that life is given to them. And sometimes they have been so busy with the blessings of God. With the blessings of God. And God is longing for your fellowship. God is longing for your worship. God is longing for your attention. He is longing for that union between you and Him. I never realized this until I decided to go to God. And I said, every other person, how important they are, to God be the glory. But I want to face my destiny. I want to negotiate my life. I want to negotiate my destiny with God. And when I took out time to really seek God, not seeking God through men, but really seeking God, God says, this is where I want you to be. Did I get my healing? Yes, I did. I got healed. I got healed of that lump in my breast. I got healed. And ever since then, I learned a very big lesson. Don't go too far from God. Because He says He's a jealous God. He will not share His glory with any man. He's a jealous God. So don't go too far from God. Don't run too far from God. Don't be too busy away from God. Be busy in God. Don't be too busy chasing after money. Don't be too busy chasing after your children. Yes, Don't be too busy chasing after your job, chasing after your business, chasing after ministry, that you forget that place that God wants you to be with Him, to fellowship with Him. Because there are some persons that have gone too far and they could not return again. But I thank God for my life. And I thank God for you that is hearing this message today. Because I know that you won't go too far from God. Even if you are far from God, you are returning to God. Like, not because you sinned, but because you have not have time for God. I'm not talking about somebody sinning against God and the person is lost into saying no. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about not having fellowship with God, not having communion with God. God is seeking for true worshippers, those who will worship Him in spirit and in truth. That is the point of fellowship. That is the point of communion. That is the point God is seeking. He wants you there. He wants you at that spot. He wants you at that place. So I want to encourage you. Don't allow circumstances bring you to that place. Don't allow circumstances bring you to that point. Come willingly to that throne, to that point where God wants you to be. And I know that He's always there waiting for you. He's always there. That challenge, that problem that you are facing, that you are running from pillar to post, you are running looking for solution from men of God, from friends, from colleagues. You're going to one church to the other looking for prayers. No. He says, all I need is for you to come to that point, that place where I'm waiting to meet with you. Where I'm waiting to meet with you. And I know that, like Moses, you will get to that point. That point where you will meet with the Father and have the burning bush experience. Where you will know God for yourself. Where you will fellowship with Him. Where you will meet with Him. Where you will commune with Him. You will dine with Him. You will get to that point. You will get to that point like Jacob, where he says, I want to be left alone with God. You will get to that point where you will see the heavens open and you will see angels going up and down. You will get to that point on your own. The situations will not take you to that point. But if you are in that situation right now, the best thing for you to do is to seek God for yourself. Seek Him for yourself. Seek Him for yourself. Don't allow anybody deceive you. Seek God for yourself. And you will find Him. God bless you.